December 1st. Here we are again. Digital Detox December is back. And to be honest, I'm not very happy about it. And that's because I watch live streams on YouTube day and night. They're just too good to go to sleep with. But unfortunately, that's why I'm always tired in the morning. Mom, I can't go to school today. I'm feeling a bit lightheaded. Yes, and that's why I was so shocked when Mom told me that today was the 1st of December. As you see, yesterday was the last day of November. You know what that means. Shit. And of course, because Mom is running a competition, I have to take part. So that means a whole month without internet. Just great. But the prize this year is gigantic. The person who goes without internet for 30 days straight gets a no consequences pass. And this pass can finally allow me to finally watch the stuff that everyone in my class is watching. And I've already tried to watch that stuff before, but Dad caught me and I really had to pay for it. Susan, get me the fucking belt! Our son's being a disappointment again! And many of my classmates are stressed as hell from this event. I mean, even Rowley, who doesn't normally surf the internet at all, was really crazy today. Bro, are you okay? Joshy.
Yeah, obviously you want to take
Joshy. But Mom can just give me the pass because I'm guaranteed to be the winner. And then, I no longer have to secretly watch Ed's World videos at 3 a.m. so my parents don't catch me. Okay, but I don't want to think too optimistically because everyone did that yesterday, and today, the first girls are already crying because their parents took away their cell phones. And that's so annoying for teachers, especially for Mr. Watson, who doesn't even know anything about technology. There are also these crazy DDD courses, especially for addicted kids, and they start on Monday. But if I were Mom, I wouldn't force my kids to stop playing on their smartphones because when I have kids later in my life, I'm gonna buy them 10,000 Robux each so that me and my future wife can really have fun. December 4th. Yep. Looks like it's gonna be a long month. These DDD courses always take place in the morning, and there are only weird kids here who literally just play cringe games day and night. And even during the lunch break, there was no rest. Oh, and Mom wrote an article in the local newspaper about addicted kids, which didn't exactly improve my image. Internet Challenge Digital Detox December is back by Susan Heffley. Thanks to the challenge DDD, children can learn to live without media, like my son who... I also saw 2 girls making fun of me thanks to it. But you know what? I don't give a shit, because in the end, we'll see who the true winner is anyway. Also, Manny's been out since today, which is pretty early in the competition. But what should I expect from a child who literally watches Cocomelon for hours on end? Cocomelon! Bro, why can't he be addicted to a better show like Ben 10? December 5th. It's not even halfway through the month, and already the hell's beginning. When Miss Craig left the classroom today, it literally ended in a fiasco. Though, when Miss Craig came back, the boys were immediately given detention, which was good. Also, Rowley's out of DD, which is, of course, really surprising. Wait, you're out? How can that be? Sorry, Greg. Joshy had a new album, and I just couldn't resist. Looks like you're gonna have to do this on your own. Now, I don't know at all whether it was really worth it, but in Rowley's case, it was basically a win-win. But while I was writing this journal, Dad caught me and grabbed it right away. And after dinner, I went to my room and then Dad came and said, "Listen, you're lucky there was nothing in that notebook that incriminate you. But you better not get caught on TikTok or any other shit, or I might start getting dysfunctional." Okay, Dad. No TikTok. Promise. And yeah, Dad's literally only saying that because Roderick is now out of the competition too. Because apparently, he wanted to make a TikTok video with his band and, suffice to say, Dad was furious. Just be glad that Mom is leading the competition and not me. Because I would have done far worse if I was.
Whatever you say, old man.
Damn, the thought that Dad will now focus on me is scary as fuck! December 6th, Wednesday. Rowley told me today that if I want to give up on DD, which basically is going to happen, then I can go to Eric Glick, who has NFTs and other stuff. He even bought 50 PS5 games and is selling them for twice the price. And I actually bought a few NFTs, which costed only $2. And that's because I need a few NFTs while I have nothing to do because of DD. But of course, someone ratted Eric Glick, and now they immediately crashed in the NFTs before things went too far. It sucks in the cafeteria too. For example, no one wants to have lunch with Fregley, because apparently he actually watches social media 24 hours a day, and that's why his mom took it away. And that's why, as an exception, I offered Fregley that he may come to our lunch table. Biggest fucking mistake of my life. A lot of kids gave me really funny looks. Probably because Fregley tried to look at the DDD list from the girls earlier. However, it escalated completely. May I have a look at the list, my ladies? Get off, weirdo! And yes, it was a really stupid idea to let Fregley come to our table, because he immediately tried to suck my hand to imitate his trend from my school. Man, DD really drives kids crazy. Okay, Fregley, I was nice enough to let you in this table, but you have to— what is wrong with you? What are you doing in my hand? December 8th. The problem with DD isn't just that I can't play Fortnite or whatever. The problem is, I can't Holly Hill's Instagram pics anymore. I used to always do it in the evening because that was how I had my rest. But now, I literally have to do it in the classroom, and the teachers have their eyes on me since day one. And because I'm also a big fan of Rowley, I couldn't hold back after the 4th hour today. Well, at least I know that Rowley isn't currently into me. Hey Greg, stop, that's weird. Also, I'm not gay. Bro, I'm not even gay. I was thinking of Holly Hills. I was pissed on the way home. You know, if I was allowed to play a round anime simulator, my mood would definitely be better. But no, it's digital Detox December. It's only day 8 and I'm already freaking out! Though, on the way home, I saw a lot of girls basically beating up an assistant from Childtropolis because he put up those damn posters for DD equals fun. Couldn't be me though. But, while I was just sitting around at home, I went to Mom and Dad's bedroom to ask when dinner was. And well, before I tell you what happened, I have to point out to you that I would definitely never write something like that. But unfortunately, this is what I'm doing right now. Mom had an affair with Rowley's father. No joke. Yep, it's fucked up. Later, I talked to Mom and she just said that she just wants to have some fun and can't help it that Dad only watches Fortnite videos. Okay, but if Mom and Dad get divorced, I am definitely going to live with Dad, because I would never move in with Mom and Mr. Jefferson. December 11th. Today I went to school with Rowley in a really bad mood. The fact that Mom is actually cheating on Dad and I can do nothing about it really bothers me. Mom and Dad argue a lot now, even this morning. I also noticed that Dad owes me something because this morning I caught him in the garage watching the new Fortnite Chapter 5 trailer. And to be honest, Dad has actually pretty good taste in Fortnite. Plus, Grandpa lives with us now. And he's literally my rival, because he just uses the internet to flirt with a woman, only to end up getting catfished. Anyway, I noticed that Grandpa is really addicted to smoking, and he always has a habit of saying, "I love lean." And you may ask, how do I notice? Well, unfortunately, since this afternoon when I wanted to pee, I saw this. I love lean! What the fuck, Grandpa? Grandpa's also bought a lot of books about D&D and always reads them to me in the evening. And geez, that's terrible.
And Bobby actually got a lot of bitches with his math skills.
But when I got the chance today, I left the house with my PS5 and iPhone 13 and buried them in the backyard. And even though it'll probably get soggy, it will definitely be worth it in the end. But when I came back in, Dad stormed into Roger's room. You see, it was 11 p.m. and Dad always wants Roger to be asleep by 11 p.m. But he actually caught him on his cell phone and said, next time you won't be hanging out on Twitter at DDD time. But he didn't say anything and just fell asleep. Well, Dad shouldn't be too angry because he also watched Fortnite videos in secret. At least he wasn't kicked out of a competition so early this time. December 13th. Ever since I got traumatized by Mom's affair, I've tried not to talk with her at all and to spend as much time as possible at school, which is something I never thought I'd ever say. Also, since DD started, there has been an addiction help station at our school they can use during break, and almost no one uses the station, and so that's why I tried my luck and pressed the button. And sure enough, someone came, and it was none other than Mr. Nern.
Hello there.
When he came up to me, he asked if I wanted to play Fortnite chess, and I said yes. No idea why I said yes, but now I know that Fortnite chess is completely different than regular chess, and that's what teachers call education. Jeez! And I will use a Renegade Raider to build a fort around here, which means your king has no defenses left. And I win. I should have played Halo Infinite chess instead. Oh yeah, and I noticed that most of the boys in school are only in this one room where the kids made fake no consequences pass. However, eventually they were caught red-handed. So yeah, I went to Rowley's house after school to hang out with him, and I asked him what we should do. He said we can play board games, watch Roblox videos, or listen to Joshy's latest album. But I had a way better idea. I wanted to make a detective stand to punish addicted people. So, Rowley carried a table from the garage, and I got a pair of binoculars I borrowed from Dad, and then we were ready for our business. And eventually, we actually got an order. One child told us that his father apparently secretly plays Fortnite or Roblox and that he even has a Fortnite t-shirt. And that's why we kept an eye on him. And unfortunately, this random kid had been right.
Okay, honey. I'm gonna go play Fortnite now. Don't tell Jimmy or anyone else.
Okay. Caught the idiot red-handed. After he said that, we came out of hiding and shouted, "Ha! Got you!" But instead of just accepting defeat, he chased us all down the street, and we even saw Fregley and Ruby Bird holding hands, and I tried my best not to look. It's disgusting. But because it's already 5 p.m., I just went back home, and that was a big mistake. And boy, it's a really big mistake. That's because, unfortunately, Dad found out about the affair, and when me and Mom were sitting at the dining table having a snack, Dad ran towards Mom like a leopard and screamed loudly,
"Ah, you daughter of a bitch! I knew you were a whore!"
Dad found out thanks to the cameras in the house, which is pretty smart to be honest. Then, Mom and Dad had a huge argument in the bedroom, and Mom said that she also knew from Manny that Dad had with Miss Jefferson, and the two actually wanted to separate, but they won't do it because they love Manny. Damn, the situation's escalating here. December 14th. Today I woke up thanks to my parents' stupid conflict, and I tried to get out of the house as quickly as possible, and it actually worked. We were given a task at school where we had to write on the board ways we can avoid addicted teenagers, and I was born for a task like that. Many of the kids refused though, but the teacher said it was mandatory, and if we didn't do it, we would get an F. So, the first thing I did was go to the board and write down my ideas. Okay, guys, to avoid addicts, you need to be a Chad, be cool, like me, and definitely don't hang out with Gen Alpha kids. The boys thought my ideas were brilliant, and, of course, the girls didn't think it was so great. The girls wrote some shit like, "Not playing Fortnite!" Yes, the girls obviously don't have a problem with DDD, unless it involves Bryce Anderson. December 18th. Yeah, the kids are starting to go a little crazy. For example, this morning in the toilet, someone played loud music that was really cursed.
Fortnite balls in your face.
Also, Rowley had bought a ton of photos of VTubers from Eric Glick, and I asked him if he could give some to me. And boy, it had been used before because, it had weird white stuff smeared on it. I also saw Freckly and Ruby Bird after school making out and stuff, and it was really gross stuff. And they even shared those pics on Instagram. And of course it was Stu at home too, because Dad was at work. It was quiet, and yeah, it was terrible in the living room too. You see, Manny and the pig were watching Dora the Explorer, which is really cringe. Not as cringe as Coco Melon. But, to be honest, I don't really care what they do. Hi, I am Dora the Explorer! But I did care when Manny and the pig were licking the screen the whole time Dora the Explorer was on. So much for Gen Alpha. We're screwed if the next generation is just like Manny. December 19th. Dad got some mail today, and it was from some kids who gave him a free Fortnite V-Bucks card. Lucky. And speaking of Fortnite, a lot of guys have been going to the bathroom during class to check out the latest chapter, and apparently it's pretty good. However, the teachers found it pretty quickly and are now keeping an eye on a lot of the boys who go to the bathroom. Ben Harrison, Fortnite pro gamer, is going towards the men's toilet. You, teacher, watch him. Hey! This breaches privacy laws! Yeah, and send a note to the principal since he engaged this policy. Also, Albert Sandy, who has been out since day one, told us something about Skibidi Toilet. Also, tip about Skibidi Toilet, it's really cringe, so don't watch it. One kid even tried to watch it in class, but then the loudspeaker went off and said loudly,
Ryan Morris should stop watching Skibidi Toilet. Not only has he failed Triple D, he is watching cringe and will be gunned down by a gun squad immediately.
What? At this moment, 75% of the kids are out of DD, and I'm really pleased that I actually bought the NFTs. At least I have something to occupy myself with. Well, as long as Dad doesn't catch me. Wait. Dad, what are you doing here? Wait, no, please don't take it away from me. Dad directly took my NFTs away from me and immediately cut them in half. And when I wanted to go sleep later, I had a serious conversation with Dad. He said, be glad that all I did was just took the NFTs away from you. I could have done far worse. Jeez, it's getting a little too dysfunctional here. December 21st. Today I found a cozy sleeping bag suit on Mom and Dad's shelf that's really suitable for kids who have clear depression because of Digital Detox December. It feels really comfortable and cakey. However, I can't really relax without TV, which is more or less not that great if you ask me. Though, while I was watching TV, Dad and Mom came downstairs with a serious look. The two of them were saying that they were getting a divorce and that Mom would no longer live with us from now on. This really hit Manny in particular, who was basically Mom's favorite child. Also, Roderick has now moved out too, probably because he can finally have his freedom with his TikTok account. Also, tomorrow is the last day of school and I am not looking forward to it at all. But hopefully the other kids will fail DD tomorrow. So I can finally get a no consequences pass. It's currently 11:50 p.m., so I'm going to sleep now. So, good night. And if anyone is even reading this... December 22nd. Yeah, today was a day, I think. Look, I'll tell you this. If you've read the news, you'll know what I mean. The Daily Plainview newspaper. Digital Detox December escalates at Westmore Middle School by Samantha Douglas. Alright, let's start at the beginning. The teachers did a bag check today to see if we had mobile devices or not, and in some cases, these were even collected. And a lot of boys then became hyperactive and literally couldn't control themselves anymore. But for Fortnite players and other kids waiting for GTA 6, I can totally understand it. On the second course, the teacher left a few kids on the PC and most of them were watching anime. No, not the normal stuff, the one with the H. And if you think I'm gonna draw what I saw, then please, for the love of God, get some medical help. Patty Farrell, of course, opened her mouth and directly told Mr. Johnson that the boys were watching. At lunch break, me and Raleigh talked about Mom's affair, and yeah, Raleigh is also traumatized as Dad kissed Mom, and now his dad ran off to buy milk. Oh, and long story short, for those who don't understand what that means, Mr. Jefferson ran away. I mean, it was clear. However, the whole fiasco started because of this one girl named Piper Bailey, who got dumped 3 times, and she said that whoever gives her the no consequences pass, which, by the way, is actually only for boys, so it don't even work on her, will get a whole 1-year free subscription to her OnlyFans. And boy, the boys beat each other up just for that. And I'll tell you this, it was not a pretty sight. They hit each other, kicked each other, pulled each other's hair, and there were even children who kicked each other in the balls. Well, at least it wasn't as bad as Cobra Kai Season 2's finale. Eventually, Vice Principal Roy had to intervene and actually managed to keep the boys apart. I don't know how he did it. Oh well, in any case, most of the guys bled hard just because of an OnlyFans subscription. We even got into the news I showed you earlier, and Westmore Middle School was named as an example of the worst arrangement in all of Plainview. Wow, that's actually something to be proud of. Though, after this fight, the kids were picked up by their parents, and Dad was really pissed that he had to pick me up. But hey, I can't help it that it was originally Mom's idea, so calm down, Dad. Jeez. December 31st. I didn't write anything for 8 days, and the reason was simple. There was nothing to confess. Dad is really depressed because Mom moved out, and Robert came back because the whole TikTok thing didn't exactly work out. Also, Dad went out very early today to buy milk, and luckily he came back 2 hours later because I actually thought he wanted to run away too. I actually would have won DDD, but I couldn't get the pass because Mom had it. I went without internet for 31 days for nothing. Anyway, Dad said that he will lead DDD next year because he wants to keep an eye on me. I just hope that next year might be much more pleasant. Oh well. I've reached the last page, so I guess it is the end. But the story's not over just yet. The author's making 2 other stories in the same universe. Greg's Digital Detox December 2, which takes place 1 year after, and a prequel, which takes place 1 year before. I'm hyped for this because this one is already a really fun reading, so I can't wait to see what's next. I hope you enjoyed that reading, and here's a fun fact. the creator is actually a fan of me and subscribed. He's right above me, Maurice YT24, so shout out to them. Also, here's another fact. This is actually the remastered version, because the original version of this started going, let's just say, off the rails and basically just became a worse version of Grig's First Age. Anyway, I already said this before, but 5 Named Clive won, so next video will be 5 Named Clive. I know this never happened before. Usually I take, 2 weeks before making the voted reading, but part 1 is coming out next, I promise. 100%. No delays. Good news to you Enclave fans. I just spoke to the creator and she said she's going to return creating on that. So hopefully we'll get more pages and then I can work on part 4. And after 5 Named Clive comes out, I'll make Overflowing part 4 as well. So yeah, stay tuned for those. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this reading and I hope you have a good day. Bye!